Hi, and welcome to the NordicTrack Treadmill Series Assembly video. Follow these steps for the T8.5s and T7.5s models. Step 1. Assembly tips. Assembly requires 2 people. Place all parts in a cleared area and remove the packing materials. After shipping, there may be an oily substance on the exterior of the treadmill. This is normal. Wipe it off with a soft cloth and non-abrasive cleaner. Left parts are marked L or left, and right parts are marked R or right. The required tools are hex keys included with the parts, Phillips screwdriver, 1 adjustable wrench, and a pair of scissors. Do not use power tools and keep the treadmill power cord unplugged during assembly. Step 2. Feed the upright wire. Make sure the power cord is unplugged. Remove the tie securing the upright wire to the front of the base. Next, identify the right upright. Have a second person hold the right upright near the base. Tie the wire tie in the right upright securely around the end of the upright wire. Then insert the upright wire into the lower end of the right upright and pull the upper end of the wire tie until the upright wire is routed through the right upright. Step 3. Attach the ground wire. Lay the right upright near the base. Press the grommet into the square hole in the right upright. Make sure not to pinch the ground wire. If there is a screw pre-attached to the right upright, remove and discard it now. Then attach the ground wire to the right upright with a ground screw. Step 4. Attach the right upright and wheel. Hold the right upright against the base. Make sure not to pinch the upright wire. Attach the right upright and a wheel with 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 inch screws and a 3/8 by 1 1/4 inch screw, a 3/8 inch by 1 3/4 inch screw, and 4 3/8 inch star washers as shown. Do not fully tighten the screws yet though. Attach the left upright and the other wheel in the exact same way. There is not a wire on the left side. Step 5. Prepare the upright covers. Remove and save the 4 indicated 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws. Next, identify the left and right base covers. Slide the left base cover onto the left upright and slide the right base cover onto the right upright. Do not press the base covers into place yet. Step 6. Identify the left handrail assembly. Attach the left handrail assembly to the left upright with 2 5/16 inch by 2 1/2 inch screws and 2 5/16 inch star washers. Do not fully tighten the screws yet. Then remove and discard the indicated screw. Step 7. Attach the right handrail. Insert the upright wire into the bottom of the right handrail assembly and then pull it out of the front as shown. Attach the right handrail assembly to the right upright with 2 5/16 inch by 2 1/2 inch screws and 2 5/16 inch star washers. Make sure not to pinch the upright wire and do not fully tighten the screws yet. Then remove and discard the indicated screw. Step 8. Tighten the handrail screws. Tighten 4 number 8 by 3/4 inch screws into the left and right handrail assemblies and into the left and right uprights. Step 9. Prepare the console. Set the console base face down on a soft surface to avoid scratching the console base. If there are ties securing the crossbar to the console base, remove the ties. Next, remove and discard the 2 indicated screws. Then remove the crossbar. Next, remove and save the 4 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws and the 6 number 8 by 3/4 inch screws. Then, lift out the 2 console clamps and the console frame. Step 10. Attach the console trays. Identify the right and left trays. Attach the right and left trays to the console base with 8 number 8 by 1/2 inch screws. Do not over-tighten the screws. Then reattach the console frame with the 6 number 8 by 3/4 inch screws and the 2 console clamps that you removed in step 9. Do not over tighten the screws. Step 11. Attach the console crossbar. Important! To avoid damaging the crossbar, do not use power tools and do not over tighten the number 10 by 3/4 inch screws. Orient the crossbar as shown. Attach the crossbar to the handrails with 2 number 10 by 3/4 inch screws and 2 number 10 star washers. Start both screws and then tighten them. Make sure not to pinch the upright wire. Firmly tighten the 4 5/16 inch by 2.5 inch screws. Step 12. Attach the console part 1. With the help of a second person, hold the console assembly near the handrails. Connect the ground wire from the console assembly to the console ground wire on the crossbar. Next, insert the upright wire through the 2 indicated looped ties on the console assembly. Connect the upright wire to the console wire. The connectors should slide together and snap into place with an audible click. If they do not, turn one connector and try again. Then remove the wire tie from the upright wire. Step 13. Attach the console part 2. Set the console assembly on the brackets on the handrails. Do not pinch any wires. Attach the console assembly with the 4 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws that you removed in step 9 and 4 5/16 inch star washers. Do not fully tighten the screws yet. Step 14. Attach the console part 3. Attach the crossbar to the console assembly with 4 number 8 by 5/8 inch screws. Start all 4 screws and then tighten them. Then firmly tighten the 4 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws. Step 15. Attach the upright crossbar. Orient the upright crossbar as shown. Carefully slide the upright crossbar between the left and right uprights. Attach the upright crossbar with the 4 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws that you removed in step 5. Start all 4 screws and then tighten them. Step 16. Attach the accessory tray. Insert the main tray from the front of the treadmill and set it on the upright crossbar. Attach the main tray with 4 number 8 by 5/8 inch screws. Start all 4 screws and then tighten them. Step 17. Attach the latch crossbar part 1. Raise the frame to the upright position. Have a second person hold the frame until step 19 is completed. If the treadmill is assembled on a smooth surface, it may roll forward in this step. Remove the 2 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws from the latch crossbar. Please note that the latch crossbar is not pre-attached to the treadmill. Orient the latch crossbar as shown. Make sure that the "this side towards belt" sticker is facing the treadmill and the text is upright. Attach the latch crossbar to the brackets on the frame with the 2 5/16 inch by 3/4 inch screws that you just removed and 2 5/16 inch star washers. Step 18. Attach the latch crossbar part 2. Remove the 5/16 inch nut and the 5/16 inch by 1 3/4 inch bolt from the bracket on the base. Next, orient the storage latch as shown. Attach the lower end of the storage latch to the bracket on the base with the 5/16 inch by 1 3/4 inch bolt and the 5/16 inch nut as shown. Then raise the storage latch to a vertical position and remove the tie. Step 19. Attach the latch crossbar part 3. Remove the 5/16 inch nut and the 5/16 inch by 2 1/4 inch bolt from the bracket on the latch crossbar. Align the upper end of the storage latch with the bracket on the latch crossbar and insert the 5/16 inch by 2 1/4 inch bolt through the bracket on the storage latch. This will push a spacer out of the storage latch. Discard the spacer. Next, tighten the 5/16 inch nut onto the 5/16 inch by 2 1/4 inch bolt. Make sure not to over-tighten the nut. The storage latch must be able to pivot. Then lower the frame. Step 20. Tighten screws and attach base covers. Firmly tighten the 4 3/8 inch by 2 3/8 inch screws and the 2 3/8 inch by 1 1/4 inch screws. Next, tighten the 2 3/8 by 1 3/4 inch screws. Make sure that the wheels turn freely. Next, set the left inner base cover onto the lower end of the left upright. Slide the left base cover downward and press it onto the left inner base cover. Then, set the right inner base cover onto the lower end of the right upright. Slide the right base cover downward and press it onto the right inner base cover. Step 21. Final inspection. Make sure that all parts are properly tightened before you use the treadmill. If there are sheets of plastic on the treadmill decals, remove the plastic. To protect the floor or carpet, place a mat under the treadmill. To avoid damage to the console, keep the treadmill out of direct sunlight. Keep the included hex key in a secure place. The key is used to adjust the walking belt. And please note, there may be extra hardware included. Now that we've finished the assembly, let's start the onboarding process. Step 1. Turn your treadmill on. Plug the power cord into a surge protector. Once the treadmill power cord is plugged in, push the power switch to on. Step 2. Test the treadmill. Enter manual mode and proceed to test the treadmill's speed and incline to ensure it is all working properly. Step 3. Connect to Wi-Fi. Exit manual mode and return to the main screen. Follow the steps on the screen to connect to Wi-Fi. Thank you for purchasing this NordicTrack treadmill.